This community, like many others, has a village plan, and the residents are very grateful for the support they receive from the council for initiatives and developments within that plan. It's just unfortunate, therefore, that sometimes, despite the best intentions, decisions can be made that go wrong. And when they go wrong in connection with roads or planning, for example, people get so obsessed with the mistakes that have been made, they forget the things that were done right.
People still stand on the street and talk to each other. You don't see that in a lot of places. Eldwick still retained that. It still managed to keep its identity, even with all the new building. Many of the new people want to be part of the village. The village societies and clubs are evidence of that. You know, they've expanded considerably over the last 2 years, and that's a good feeling coming back.
The main thing that attracts me to it is the people. Everybody is so friendly, so kind. The low crime rate, which I think speaks volumes, A, for the police force and for the type of person that lives in Eldwick. The only downside, I would say, is the lack of the school, which I think is such a shame. But it's a great place to live, but we mustn't have any more building.
When you see the narrow misses and the phenomenal avoidances that take place in the village itself, when you're driving or walking through it, it's certainly much more than it used to be.
The traffic will not be improved, in my view, in this village until positive action is taken to stop the speeding. As one who lives on the opposite side to the one and only shop now, I risk my life every morning. And when I said I'd stay in Eldwick for the rest of my time, that is as long as the traffic doesn't get me first.
Well, I mean, there are two basic problems, both early in the morning and late at night, when it's almost impossible to cross the road. And we've had some introductory measures made which don't seem to have been that effective because they haven't regarded the density of the traffic at those two peak periods.
But we're beginning to find that it's only the older people now who really put in the effort to keep the community spirit going. We could do with a lot more help on a number of the associations and committees.
As to the continual building and compacting of properties, the garage going really did tighten things up very much and took a little bit of light out. Also, the building in gardens, again, I've got to be wary as to what I say because I could do it in my garden, but it is having a generally compacting effect on the village.
The use of people's gardens being taken over and putting other dwelling places in the premises, it's catastrophic in terms of the loss of wildlife habitat, of the flora and fauna, and the general overall impression that people get when they come to Eldwick of cramping, which we've never had in the past.
Well, I think as an individual trying to get a small development underway, you're often disadvantaged because you don't have the industrial might of a big developer. And I think it's very much easier for the council to treat you as small fry and to be quite pedantic about the things that they object to. And very often small developments like this seem to be shelved, don't they? People don't get what they want. And yet the big developments get underway and terrible things happen. When I first came here with my family in 1983, it was very much a village, very rural, and there had only been about one development. And what has alarmed me over the recent years has been the huge developments that have taken place in a not very well structured way, and also individual developments on a smaller scale of individual house owners, you know, where gardens have disappeared and big houses have been put up with no gardens and this sort of thing. So there are sort of two different scales of development that I perceive.
Yeah, I'd like the trees back and the way it used to be. Because every house that's old in Eldwick they're all unique in their own way, and they're not, you know, I don't like the estates.
The excessive use of yellow lines and also, you know, successive changes in the parking restrictions have just caused great confusion, and you know, there's been one after the other and they've all failed, haven't they, in different ways. And I think that's quite simply the planning officer concerned is just not listening to the shopkeepers and local people who have given very clear advice on what should and should not be done. And unless that's heeded, we will never have a real solution to the congestion and speed problems along this busy road.
On the whole, I mean, with the petition of 500 people, which gave more than a good snapshot of what the village people thought, I feel, and they feel, that the council need to come back and readjust what's been done. It's an accident waiting to happen, is this road.
Well, if we think about the objectives, which were to calm the traffic down and to make parking easier, I mean, it's failed on both counts. Well, my final message to the councillors and planners of Bradford is to wake up, really, to the fact of what they've created and the destruction and havoc that they've brought about in recent years, and the damage they've done to an absolutely fabulous resource, which was Bingley, Eldwick, and to think hard about the future and how they should handle future applications, reaching out to the local community and involving those people in a very real way to improve the prospects for the whole area.
So, whilst we don't want you to stop doing what you do, it's just that before you do anything else, we'd like you to come and talk to us and take a look at the results of what's already been done.